Howdy everyone, petedaddy here. We've got two brand new footies players to grind for today. We've been given another dynamic duo. Yesterday it was Brazilians who play for Everton. Today it's English players who play for Arsenal. We've got a 92 rated Nketiah and a 94 rated Smith Rowe to grind for, and you know that's worthy of the Whopper button.
Tell the crew to push the Whopper button.
I'm going to go over the best way, the fastest way. I'm going to share with you some tips on how to just dominate these objectives. But before we begin, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below. I'd really appreciate it. So this one is actually a little bit of a grind. Both the Nketiah and Smith Rowe are nice cards. They're 4-star, which is nice. But it's a little bit of a grind. And notice we have no timer because Season 7 is almost up. So this is the equivalent of saying we have 1 week. So if you look in the top right, it says 6 days, 23 hours. That's your countdown. Once this season is over, these guys are gone. So you've got a lot of grinding to do in a short amount of time. So first and foremost, notice we're back to online play. Pretty much every objective player we've had for a while has been in squad battles. And you know, you could sprinkle in some rivals. Most of them were just easier just to do in squad battles. But these are back to a live, foot-friendly Premier potential. And I think it requires 6 Premier players. It could be 7 or 8. I'm pretty sure it's 6, but we'll double-check that here in just a minute. I've got some tips on some players that may help you out, some cheaper Premier League players that you could buy to help you dominate your competition. But let's take a look at what you have to do. First, score 2 outside-of-the-box goals in the live, foot-friendly Premier potential. Frustrating, but you could do that all in one match if you've got an opponent that will trade with you. This one doesn't have to be in separate matches, so if you've got an opponent that won't leave, and I guess let's just talk about that first and foremost. There's a lot of grinding here, but we can do this golden goal if we help each other out. Hopefully people will, because this is a pretty long grind if we do not help people out. So let's just make this golden goal, but we'll talk about that as we get there as well. So first is that, but if you don't want to do any long-term grind, at least do this grind to get this 92 rated Nketiah into your squad. This one is just score a finesse goal using English forwards. Forwards are striker, center forward, left wing, left forward, right wing, right forward. And that's what has to be on the card before you go into the match. So I'll just use that Smith Rowe there as an example. If you have him, he's a cam on that card. And if you go into the match, even if you put Smith Rowe at striker, that doesn't count as an English forward. So just kind of keep that in mind. You've got to have some English forwards to bang in some goals. So just kind of consider that something to think about as you go forward. You've got to have English forwards scoring finesse goals. And finesse goals is the RB or R1. Hold that in. They'll kind of do that side-footed animation to make sure that counts. So I would say there, if you score that finesse goal, then hopefully your opponent just plays golden goal and leaves. And that gives you your 5 separate wins, just lickety-split, and you can claim that in Nketiah and be done with it. Then what we have to do, now this one you'll get over just the course of the grinding because this is a 5-game grind to get Nketiah. Then what you have to do is take Nketiah, put them into your club, and you've got to assist with through balls using Premier League cams. Now this one's very specific. It's got to be a cam. So it can't be a CM playing cam. It can't be a CDM playing cam. It's got to be cam on the card before you go into the match. So make sure you have some position modifiers on cards that are cams already. So, and it's got to be a through ball. Luckily, through balls just seem to happen this year. That's one of the most OP ways to score. Whenever we've had through ball objectives, they just seem to always just naturally happen just playing the game. But if you don't know, through ball is just the Y button or triangle depending on what system you're playing on. Then playing partners, score using FUTTIES Nketiah 9 separate matches. So if we were smart, what we would do if you came across an opponent with Nketiah, you would just trade goals with your Nketiah and then play golden goal. I do fear that a lot of us will not play golden goal that way, like where you kind of exchange a goal and then play golden goal. So you may just have to make sure you score with your Nketiah first and foremost. It's kind of frustrating in a way. So if you look at it here, we're talking about a 14-match grind. You've got to do 5 separate wins to get Nketiah. Then you have to get 9 separate matches where you score with Nketiah to get Smith Rowe. Plus, you got to make sure you kind of take over all of this. So it's a 14-match minimum, but you do have to score 15 goals. So if people did play strictly golden goal, you'd have to play 1 more match, which wouldn't be a big deal. 15 golden goal matches would go by pretty quickly. But if you have people playing, 30% of the time, if you have to play 5 golden goal matches and 10 90-minute matches, that's going to feel like a pretty long time to grind those out. So Hopefully people play gold and gold, but we'll just have to see what happens. So let me show you guys some of the players I'm going to recommend that will help you dominate this challenge. And we'll take a look at the friendly. So if you don't know where to go, we're going to go to play, and we're going to go to friendlies. And then this is going to be an online friendly. So we got friendlies, play online. And then we look over here for the new Premier potential. And it is 6 Premier League players, clubs minimum 3. That shouldn't be a problem unless you just happen to build a Man City or Liverpool or Man U squad, something like that. Then shouldn't be hard at all to get that taken care of. Now, let me show you some of the cards I'm recommending. Now, right now, we've got tons of specials and packs. And maybe they're not the most souped up ones. So what I've got right here are some cheaper options of players that you can kind of sprinkle into your team. Now remember, you do have to have English forward. So these are just some recommendations. So make sure you've got some stuff out there as well. Now what I will use, I'll just show you guys from my team. Now these are some recommendations. Then look at your club is what I'd recommend, and then kind of go from there. Now I've got Summer Star Sterling. So he's going to be my English forward to get the finesse goals. There's also Harry Kane. There's Mason Mount as a team of the season cam card. I guess let's just take a look at that real quick. Let's just look at some English players under concept. I even play with this, if you had this Path to Glory, Phil Foden, but remember you have to position modify him from cam to center forward at least, or center forward to striker. Summer Stars Harry Kane is fine. If you completed that Grealish, there's also a foot birthday Raheem Sterling that is fairly cheap. If you got this Calvin Phillips, you can position modify him to striker. So remember, it's got to be on the card before you go into the match. So if you had that Calvin Phillips, you got to position modify him. Vardy, if you've got one of the Rashford versions. So I mean, Harvey Barnes, there's tons of different options that you can use, but just make sure you also have that English forward. Now, what I've got here again is just some cheaper options. Like this is Freeze Mane. I think he's about 50 or 60,000 coins, which is one of the more expensive players I've listed here, but Mane's just so OP. We have Odegaard. This is a what if Odegaard. I want to say he's like 25 or 30,000 coins. Lucas Moura's and down in the 25. Bernardo Silva's around 20,000. This Sissoko Europa League versions, one at like 20K. Conte, for any of you guys who have been with me for a while, we packed Conte on stream from those footies player picks 10 out of 15 times. It was crazy. But this card is a very, very nice CDM. Going to play well for you. Ricardo Pereira, Ruben Diaz, Reece James, and Reguilon. All of these cards are down in like the 20, 30K region. Now, what I've done here, these are some more souped up cards that are a good value, in my opinion, that you could play with these guys in your main team. So like De Bruyne's Team of the Year version, I want to say it's like 150K, somewhere in that neighborhood. This Chilwell Path to Glory card is becoming one of my favorite cards in game. I have him in my main team, and he's like 120,000 coins, 130,000 coins. Insane all over the pitch. So I mean, that Chilwell's a great value. Summer Stars Phillips is another one, like 113K, 120K. Another great value. You could play him in your main team. Then we're getting to the category of current SBCs that I think are worth completing. I feel like both this Alan and Alex Telles are worth completing. There's both amazing cards. You could do a lot with both of them. There's also Bernard available. There's also Alan St. Maximin available. So you've got some other options as well if you want SBC cards. Also, now that we're coming to the end of the year, or end of the season, I should say, Daniel Podence is a free card that's available from your storyline card. So if you're getting to that level 30 and you don't know who to take, it's Podence, Longley, and Raheem Diaz, I believe. So, if you're like, I don't know who to take, well, maybe right now you could take Podence and he could just help you out in this challenge right here. So just another idea. But this is what we're playing for right here. First and foremost, you can get that Nketiah for just a 5-match grind. And nice 4-star, high medium, good height, 5'9". I played with his silver card on my silver team for a long time. If you guys remember back in the beginning when we had Silver Stars Shea Adams and Silver Stars Vidra, I had a Premier League silver team. This was before we had hundreds of silver cards that were OP. But Nketiah, I played with just his regular base silver version and enjoyed it. So, he's got 99 agility. The biggest complaint of sometimes it feels like what EA kind of throttles back on these a little bit just because they're free cards is composure. So he's got 86 composure, which for someone you will probably play as a striker is not exactly what you want. Now, Nketiah's got the pace. You put something like to boost his passing as well. You could certainly play him on the wing a little bit. I would like to boost his vision and long passing a little bit if I was going to play him as a winger or like a left mid, right mid, or right mid is probably where I'd play him since he's right-footed. But composure of 86 is, that's sometimes EA's way of throttling back a card a little bit. So because it's a free card and EA doesn't want it to be too OP, but super nice stats for a free card. Really like this one. And then the Smith Rowe card, another one, 98 acceleration, 98 sprint speed, and you can see there again the composure of 88. Now, if you're going to play Smith Rowe in the midfield and you're not looking to bang in goals left and right with guys all over you, then it's not as big of an issue. But this is another really strong card. Definitely an attacking mid. He does have a little bit of defensive awareness, but I wouldn't want to play him as a two-way midfielder. I'd want him to be more of an attacking mid. Now, he's got some of the passing stats already where he could play left mid or right mid. And he is also similar to Nketiah, 4-star, 4-star. The one potential problem on him as well is he is 6 foot tall, which isn't too tall, but is getting to that height where maybe they don't respond quite as well, especially in poor gameplay. But I think these cards are both well worth it. It's nice when you can grind for 2 cards at the same time, but at the very least, grind for Nketiah. And whenever you can throw a 94 out there for free, and it's kind of nice. I'll be interested to see, will people play Golden Goal? That's going to be my main interest. It's been a while since we've had live online friendlies that we needed to play, so I'm curious if people will play Golden Goal. But anyways, guys, this is going to wrap it up for now. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below. Check the description, join my Discord server. But I will see you guys soon. Take care. Bye.